Now, fava beans might not seem the answer to healthier eating, not even if you're Hannibal Lecter. Combine them with a bit of cannibalism and a nice Chianti. But as our Berkshire reporter Patrick O'Hagan has been finding out, they're at the heart of research to boost the nutritional content of an old staple.
There's brown bread, white bread, all sorts of wholemeal bread. It comes in funny packages with writing on the side, but it doesn't.
We just love our bread here in Britain. Always have. We buy nearly 11 million loaves every single day. That's more than 4 billion a year.
Oh no, it all goes with toast.
96% of our population buy bread every week, and 90% of this is white.
The nation's favourite doesn't have as much goodness in it as it could do, though. Deep in the science labs at the University of Reading, they're working on a new, healthier version, replacing some of the flour with ground-down fava beans. That's broad beans to you and me.
What we're trying to do is to present to the consumer a white bread that's very similar, if not identical, to what they're used to. So we're not necessarily going to change the loaf. We want it to taste, look the same, but it will obviously be more nutrient dense. So they'll be consuming something they have every day, but it will have more fibre, more protein and more micronutrients in it, and be better for them and the environment.
Julie's colleague Paolo is trying to perfect the perfect white, albeit broad bean, loaf of bread.
This is wheat, 100% wheat, and this is 15% fava bean. Our aim is to make fava bean into an ingredient for industrial bread making. So we want to make sure that the industry will be happy to use it, and therefore we have to create an ingredient, fava bean flour, to start with.
It's slightly more moist than normal bread, I would say. Not as dry as normal bread, but it does taste pretty much the same as any old loaf of bread, I say. Nice.
Hopefully it won't cost any more, it will taste the same and it will look the same. So, you know, they will be doing something for themselves without necessarily changing specifically their diet.
And I must say there's very, very little difference in taste between those two. I don't think I could actually tell the difference.
Fruit and veg are packed with fibre, vitamins and minerals and form the basis of a healthy, balanced diet.
Creating a new, healthier bread to raise our fibre and protein intake is some way off yet. In the meantime, we continue to be told we need to hit the 5-a-day target. But that's often easier said than done. A few miles away in Whitley, fresh fruit and vegetables are always the first things to go at the local food bank. The people who both live and work here say everyone is keen to hit the 5-day target, but say that's easier said than done.
I go for the cheapest fruits, apples, pears, bananas, but you know, kids need all of it. Blueberries and strawberries and things like that are actually good for your fibre intake, but they are the expensive ones. So we need to be able to meet in the middle somewhere so we can still eat what we need and still be able to afford and survive as well.
Emily lives just a few miles down the road from the University of Reading in Whitley. She's one of a small army of community researchers delving into the lives of those around them to see what's stopping people hitting the target.
This way we can do it from the ground up and we can speak to people who are eating this food, who know what needs to go into their body but may just need access or may need a different snack that has all the things they need but isn't so expensive.
In here we've got carrots, spring onions, radishes and runner beans.
The Whitley Community Development Association also grows its own fruit and veg. Kelly Brown, who's found green fingers she never knew she had, is keen to show younger people just how tasty homegrown food can be.
People do want veg, they just can't afford the veg. So they go for the cheapest option to feed their children.
One possible solution is creating a range of healthier snacks which would cost the same as a packet of crisps. But would people really swap those potato crisps for ones made from lentils, for example?
I'm a really fussy person. I never thought I'd see the day I'd eat a lentil crisp. But I tried one and I was like, oh my goodness, that's actually really nice.
The ultimate aim is to persuade supermarkets that healthy snacks shouldn't just be tucked away in the more expensive health food sections. The driving force behind the Whitley project says the only way to convince them and politicians that it's worth their while is to show them what people really want.
It's all very easy to have policies and initiatives that come in and say, do this, do that, this will be good for you, this won't be good for you, so you mustn't do that. But actually, people's lives are much more complicated than that. Let's ask people what they want to try. These are not the out-of-reach, posh foods for other parts of the community. These are things that people really want to try.
Adding lentils to snacks and ground beans to white bread, who knew? So, how about beans in toast rather than beans on toast?
I suppose it's health by stealth, perhaps, is a way of saying it. So it's a way of incorporating the beans in the bread, as I said, so they're not obviously in there, but will benefit that population, as well as trying to encourage them to have beans and pulses in other ways.
Yeah, but I done half like toast.